Hello guys, and welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to head into new territory on this channel, which is into the music category and more specifically Eminem. For today we'll be ranking his albums from least good to best. I say least good because even the worst albums on this list are actually still fairly good. With M being my favourite rapper, ranking these has been incredibly difficult, but I'm going to give it a go anyway. So without further ado, let's just get started. I also will not be including any albums outside of the original 11 studio albums, so albums like Bad Meets Evil or Get the Guns will not be included. So in last place is Infinite. I don't think there's any surprises here. This album sold terribly when it came out and was rated pretty horribly, leading to Eminem almost leaving the rap game behind. But looking back now, it deserved a lot more than it actually got. Songs like 313 would be considered to be pretty good songs in the industry if they were released today, but back then weren't as appreciated. And even though there are some good songs on the album, there's no way I can justify putting Infinite above any other album at all. So in 10th place we have Revival. Probably no surprises again to see Revival down so low. It is often called a terrible album, but I feel like it needs to be defended. It has some great songs like Castle or Rose and Offended, and this album is Eminem's best when it comes to content-wise and the serious tone he took and the serious talking about his life and what's been going on. However, a lot of people don't like this album because of that. And I think it's a shame because I would have liked to see more of Eminem during this style and more albums like this. But I think we'll never see this side of Eminem again for quite a while actually, given the resounding hate he actually got. So in 9th place, where things get a bit more tough, but we've gone for Encore. Now there is some great content in here to be honest, but there's quite a few songs that are quite skippable and really let the album down. And it's one of the albums I actually found myself skimming through quite a lot. Obviously there are great songs on the album, but compared to what's above it, it's really the lowest out of the good. In 8th place is Recovery. Now this album was great for its mainstream appeal. Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie are still some of M's most successful songs to date. However, I don't think many people will argue with me when I say that this album doesn't have M's best lyricism on display. However, it is a great album and it's actually one of the big albums for me in terms of how much I listened to it when it came out. In 7th place now will be quite a controversial one, and that is the Eminem Show. Now, I've seen some people rate this as his best album or the last good album he had, and for me that's really not the case. Don't get me wrong, I love this album. The only problem for me is from this point on, I love all the albums that are left to come up. Till I Collapse, in my opinion, is just the standout from this album, and it's still one of my favourite Eminem songs so far. Even with all the albums released afterwards, that's still up there for me as a top tier song. Songs like Clean Out My Closet still can give me goosebumps, and White America just shows how great Eminem's career has been when an album with this many good songs comes in at 7th. For 6th place, I have gone for Kamikaze. Now, I loved this album when it first came out. However, over time, a lot of the songs have kind of worn off on me and kind of lost their replay value, which hasn't really happened with a lot of the other albums that come out even before this one. Songs like The Ringer, I found myself not listening to really ever now. Whereas when it first came out, it was a great song. However, Not Alike, Greatest, Lucky You, these kind of songs have really held up well. And the overall of this album, it's not great. There's a lot of songs that on here aren't that good, but this album, when it hits a good song, it really nails it down, and when it hits hard. Now, scraping into the top 5 is Relapse. Now, this is good. This is going to be a controversial one as well. There's going to be quite a few on this list like that, but I put it in number 5 because I think lyricism-wise, it's up there with Eminem's best, and it is quite a hated album, and I can kind of see why. I know the accents can be annoying, but in my opinion, they actually give the songs quite a unique sound and feel to each and every song, and it also makes this album in particular stand out from anything else Eminem has ever done. Songs like Stay Wide Awake have absolutely insane rhyme schemes, where it's up there with Eminem's best that he's ever done. Now, the subject matter of a lot of these songs are definitely subjects that people would shy away from, and I think that's one of the big reasons why this album was considered to be on the lower end. But there was good emotional songs on this album as well, like Beautiful, it just really hits hard and really shows what I was going through when making the album. Now, at 4th is probably the most controversial place on this list, and that is Slim Shady LP, the SSLP. I think this is at number 1 for a lot of people, and I get why. There is a lot of quality on display. However, I think there is a lack of collaborations, which don't necessarily be a bad thing, but I do think having a few good collabs does definitely accelerate the album up a bit. His lyricism in this, though, is right up there, which is why I can understand people putting it at number 1. But another thing for me is the hooks. I don't necessarily think this is anywhere near Eminem's best hooks on this album. But yes, that's the SSLP in 4th place. Now, in number 3, in Eminem's new album, Music to Be Murdered By. Now, I could say I'm a bit blinded by the fact that it's just come out, all the songs are fresh, and I'm loving the album. But I can't deny the fact that something extremely rare has happened with this album, which is I can listen to every single song and like and enjoy every single one. There's also great features: Godzilla, Unaccommodating, You Gon' Learn, Ya. So the feature is not lacking. The lyricism is, I think, in my opinion, this is M back to his best. This is arguably his best album for lyricism, and people are really sleeping on that aspect of it because it does have great mainstream appeal. Godzilla, Darkness, these songs, Those Kind of Nights, are all over the place, being heard everywhere, but there's actually great lyricism underneath all that. Also, the hooks on his album are phenomenal. A lot of the time it's not actually M doing the hooks. You have White Gold on You Gon' Learn, you have Juice WRLD on Godzilla, Ed Sheeran on Those Kind of Nights, but even on ones where he's doing the chorus like Marsh, the choruses and the hooks do hit really hard, and actually this album, in my opinion, deserves its place at number 3. However, it could go down or up depending on how it ages in a couple of months' time, depending how much I'm listening to the songs and how good I still think they are. So in at number 2 is the Marshall Mathers LP 1. This was the album that really pushed me into rap and made me really love it. Stan is the obvious standout from this album, showing Eminem's insane storytelling ability. Mainstream hits like The Real Slim Shady are making sure that the album got promoted properly and made the money it deserved to make. He also hit his haters with songs like Criminal and The Way I Am. The hooks on this album are great, the features are great. This album could have easily been number 1 for me, but I just couldn't quite put it above the number 1 spot. But I can understand totally if you've put it at your number 1. So for my number 1 is actually the Marshall Mathers LP 2, as you would have guessed if you've been listening along. For me, this is the best rap album from anyone, not just Eminem, so it's no surprise for me to see it at number 1. I know people tend to put this album maybe 3rd, maybe 2nd, 4th, around that kind of area, so it's always quite high up, but it's never at the top. But for me, it has to be there. The album on this has very great hooks, especially the featured hooks. You've got Kendrick Lamar, Rihanna, and and Nate Royce. They all do great. Plus, Rap God is a great song for showing Eminem's speed and how he still has this longevity in the game, because this came out in 2013 and he'd been going since the 90s. So the fact that he'd be able to show that he had that longevity, that he still has that insane ability. This album has everything you want. It has fun songs, it has serious songs, big hits, great lyricism, phenomenal hooks, literally everything you want in an album. And for me, I can't justify putting any other album above this one. So, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy the video, then please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Leave a comment with your list below if it's different to mine. Also, feel free to leave your opinions below if you don't agree. See you next time, and goodbye.